Have you ever noticed that we tend to treat our mistakes like crimes? I'm talking about that sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach when a project flops, when you say the wrong thing in a meeting, or when a relationship you cherished suddenly hits a wall. In that moment, the internal verdict is usually immediate and harsh. We tell ourselves, I am not good enough, I ruined everything, or simply, I am a failure. We treat these moments as a final judgment on our character. But what if I told you that this emotional reaction is actually a glitch in your operating system? What if the most successful, resilient minds in the world don't see failure as a verdict at all, but as something entirely different? There's a profound paradox here. The people who fail the most are often the ones who succeed the most. Not because they enjoy losing, but because they have mastered the ability to strip the emotion away from the event. They don't see a mess, they see data. We live in a hyper-visible world where everyone's highlight reel is on display, making our own stumbles feel solitary and catastrophic. We represent a culture that celebrates the result but hides the process. This is why we urgently need to slow down, to listen to what our lives are actually telling us, and to reflect on the signals beneath the noise. Today, we're going to explore a powerful shift in perspective, viewing failure strictly as data and mastering the art of self-negotiation. If you can learn to reframe every mistake as a neutral information point, you stop being the victim of your life and start being its architect. Let's start by looking at this concept of failure as data. Imagine for a moment that you are a scientist in a high-tech laboratory. You are testing a new hypothesis. You mix two chemicals in a beaker, expecting them to turn blue, but instead the mixture turns a violent shade of muddy brown and smokes a little. Now, as a scientist, do you fall to your knees, weep, and scream, "I am a terrible human being"? Do you decide you are unworthy of love because the liquid didn't turn blue? Of course not. You simply look at the beaker, maybe adjust your glasses, and say, that's interesting. You record the result. You now have a new data point. Formula A plus Formula B equals brown smoke. You haven't failed. You have successfully eliminated a path that doesn't work. This is the mindset shift we need to apply to our personal lives. When we talk about reframing, we aren't talking about toxic positivity or pretending that failing feels good. It hurts. It's supposed to hurt. But the reframe happens when you decide that the pain is actually information. If you launch a business and it goes under, the market has given you data on pricing, timing, or product fit. If you snap at your partner and cause an argument, you have received data about your stress levels and your communication triggers. When we start taking failure personally, we gain the ability to look at the wreckage objectively. We move from who is to blame to what is this telling me? The emotional weight lifts because data doesn't have an ego. Data doesn't judge you. It just is. However, adopting this scientific detachment is easier said than done because we have a very loud, very dramatic voice in our heads. This brings us to the second crucial skill, the art of self-negotiation. Most of us are terrible negotiators when it comes to dealing with ourselves. When we mess up, we tend to become tyrants. We berate ourselves for days, replaying the embarrassing moment in 4K resolution at 3 a.m. This is a waste of energy. Instead of being a tyrant, you need to become a negotiator. Think of self-negotiation as a business meeting you hold with yourself immediately after a setback. You are sitting across the table from your mistake. You have paid a high price for this mistake. Maybe you paid and lost money, lost time, or just a bruised ego. Since you've already paid the price, you must demand a receipt. You cannot walk away from the table empty-handed. The negotiation sounds like this. Okay, I really messed this up. It hurts, and I'm embarrassed. But since I am suffering through this experience, what am I getting in exchange? You refuse to leave that mental room until you have extracted a lesson, a new strategy, or a deeper understanding of your own psychology. Let's be real for a second here. Sometimes the data is simply that we were lazy, or arrogant, or unprepared, and that's okay too. Acknowledging that isn't self-hatred, it's just accurate reporting. It's like a GPS system. When you miss a turn, the GPS doesn't say, "You idiot, why can't you drive?" It simply says, "Recalculating." It uses your current wrong position to plot a new correct route. That is self-negotiation. It is the refusal to let a mistake be the end of the story and insisting that it become the plot twist that leads to a better ending. I want to pause here for a moment because this is where the real work happens. I want to ask you a question, and I invite you to be honest with yourself. Think of a recent failure or a mistake that has been bothering you lately, something that makes you cringe or feel anxious when you think about it. Now ask yourself, if I stripped away all the shame and all the self-judgment, what is the one piece of raw data this experience is trying to give you? Is it telling you to slow down? Is it telling you that you need to prepare more? Is it telling you that you're in the wrong environment? Just sit with that. Listen to the data, not the drama. This process, reframing failure as data and negotiating for wisdom, is the essence of true growth. It changes how you walk through the world. You become lighter. You become bolder. You stop being afraid of making mistakes because you know that even if you fall, you will get back up, richer in knowledge than you were when you went down. You start to realize that life isn't a test you pass or fail. It is a laboratory you explore. Every broken beaker, every muddy result, every wrong turn is just guiding you toward the formula that eventually works. There is a beautiful Japanese concept called Kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold lacquer. The breaks aren't hidden, they are highlighted. The object becomes more beautiful and valuable because it has been broken. Your failures are your gold lacquer. They are the proof that you tried, that you lived, and that you dared to step into the arena. Don't hide them. Don't run from them. Mine them for every ounce of gold they hold. Ultimately, wisdom is nothing more than healed pain. It is the result of 1,000 self-negotiations where you chose to learn instead of to quit. So as you move forward into your week, I challenge you to change your vocabulary. Catch yourself when you say, "I failed." Try saying, "I'm collecting data." Catch yourself when you start the negative self-talk. Stop and say, "Wait, let's negotiate. What can I learn from this?" We are building something special here, a space where we can be vulnerable and strong at the same time. Join our growing community of reflective minds by hitting that subscribe button so we can continue this journey of listening and reflecting together. And for today, I have a specific challenge for you. In the comments below, I don't want you to just tell me you liked the video. I want you to share one specific data point you learned from a past mistake, a moment where things went wrong, but you successfully negotiated a valuable lesson from it. Let's fill the comment section not with perfection, but with the wisdom of our shared experiences. Go out there, make mistakes, get the data, and build something beautiful.